Greetings and welcome back to Ship of Fools, a nautical D&D actual play podcast. My name is Hannah McLean, and as always, I will be your dungeon master on this nautical adventure. Joining me today, I have Andy Latai,
Finn Fisher,
Lonnie Stevenson,
Regin Stockweather,
and Taylor Wallace.
Malachi Kassir.
Hannah, why did the way you say why did you say that like it was a threat? I am and will always be your dungeon master.
Just in case anyone's getting ideas.
Accept your fate now.
I want to, if there's a coup brewing, I want to cut it off right now. Okay.
What?
Taylor, she knows! Run!
So, let's do a little bit of a recap. Welcome back to episode 35, everyone. Let's recap where we're at and then dive right in. So, last time we opened up at a execution, or an attempted execution, a successfully foiled execution.
And we're all more emotionally stable for it.
Yeah. You guys managed to intrude on the attempted execution of Finn's friend Baleen, as well as 4 people who you learned were members of AAA, 3 of whom had been missing for a few weeks, and one of whom, Ben, had been presumed dead for 2 years, according to Shiloh.
When he faked his death because he was so nervous about someone beating his record at the trial.
The power of foresight.
Saved everyone involved. Finn dimension doored away with Baleen, leaving her in a flower shop before beginning to run back in case he was needed. Meanwhile, battle broke out that eventually ended with everybody kind of running in the direction of the flower shop, while meanwhile, Regin was finishing off sparring with the High Priestess. Regin had just left and begun to leave the square to meet up with Finn so that they could dimension door away, as Malachi was sort of nearby in this side street, when all 3 of you were caught in the outskirts of this massive explosion that originated from under the execution platform and engulfed the entire square, leaving most of this big landmark in the center of the city in flames. That's where we're picking up.
Sure did forget to think about what I would do.
So
it happens to the best of us, honestly.
Ow!
Your ears are ringing. You are fairly singed, although all of you are currently still conscious. You can hear the kind of like screams and chaos erupting like all around the city.
Regin, did you call in air support? What is this?
Anything flammable in the square is crackling with flame. What do you guys do?
Well, I think I could see Finn and Regin from where I was, right? They were just ahead of me.
You're like at one end of this street, and they're at the other end of it.
But we can't see into the square at all? Or?
You can see into the square. Regin and Finn were like right at the edge of the square.
Okay.
Yeah, you see fire, a lot of people who are instantly dead, other people who are kind of like, it seems like people are running toward the cathedral, mostly. The High Priestess, I think you can sort of see, is like, actually, Regin, I'm not going to give this to you for free. Regin and Finn can both make me perception checks.
Damn it.
That's a natural 20.
Wow. Okay. So true, Finn.
I'm not going to put it in because I think it would be unpleasant to listen to, but imagine this whole scene with like the Saving Private Ryan, like ear ringing going on.
Yeah, do.
7.
Okay, great. Regin, you're distracted. This makes sense. Finn was able to avoid the blast a little bit more effectively, so Regin, you've got smoke in your eyes. You really can't see anything. Finn, even with a natural 20, it is hard to see exactly what's going on because there's just immediately, like, smoke billowing everywhere. And some of what you can see, you honestly probably don't want to be seeing, but what you do make out with this is the High Priestess seems to be alive and conscious and is being helped into the cathedral by a couple of guards who are with her. She looks pretty singed, and like her clothes are maybe on fire, and like quickly kind of patting them out. You see her kind of like reaching out to the people around her, and like healing magic kind of starting to glow from her as she's sort of clearly trying to help someone who's around her. I think with a natural 20, you get that she looks confused. This does not look like the look of someone who is like, all has gone according to plan. The explosion just as was meant to happen. She looks like genuinely like shocked, and this was not something she expected to happen. And you get the same from kind of like all of the guards and people who are kind of currently running. There is no one who is standing there looking like, yes, I did this and all has gone according to plan. You also don't see like any new figures arriving on the scene or like running in or anything like that. You just see a lot of chaos.
Perhaps the gallows itself realized it is better to die than be one who brings death. And a tear forms in my eye.
So true, honestly.
That also might be the smoke.
Ow! Ooh, yeah, this is really stinging my eyes. What say we get out of here, fellas?
Hannah, is there like anyone besides like the priestess and the guards who are alive?
I think that...
Or visibly alive?
I think that Finn can see that, like, yeah, people are kind of, like, helping each other, and, like, everybody's sort of starting to, get away from the explosion. It does sort of look like... You also do see that, like, the shouts of, like, find them and, like, get the people who did this is, like... The explosion has become first priority, but there are distinctly still guards who had spread out from the square who are like continuing to run through the streets. And I think you kind of get the idea, if you guys don't move very quickly, you are going to get found.
Hey, Malachi, if I dimension door us, are you good? Or should we all stay together and just run for it?
I think if you can get Regin small and go, do that. I don't know if we can talk from our distance, but like...
You can kind of like shout to each other.
Shouting.
Yeah.
I'm assuming no one's trying to eavesdrop.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, get back if you can, I'll meet you there.
Alright. Let's go! And I want to do two things.
Mm-hmm.
First, before we leave, tell me if the layout allows this. I want to just like dart off to the side... near-ish to where some people are, and say, in a fake voice, "For Dr. Retval!" and then run back, jump into Regin's arms, and shout, "Catch me!" And I need to hear what Regin does in response to that.
Sure.
I catch him.
I cast Dimension Door right as I land in his outstretched arms.
Great.
Carry me.
Give me a deception check with disadvantage for the random shouting.
I'm just trying to sow some seeds. Well, you recall I am very good at deception.
I do recall that.
So that is a 17.
Okay. So someone kind of hears that and does a double take. That will be a piece of information that's collected in the presumably crime scene investigation that's going to happen here. You jump into Regin's arms. The two of you dimension door to the flower shop.
A table is crushed under the weight of Regin's massive body.
Yeah. Regin, dude, this giant Regin and Finn in his arms appears in the flower shop. I want to resolve what happens with Malachi before we cut back to the flower shop. So you see Regin and Finn disappear. What do you do?
Can I see... Like, what is my... Like, am I able to see the point of explosion at all?
No, unfortunately, because you had, like, left the square and then we're coming back, but we're not all the way back. There's basically buildings in between you and where the actual epicenter of the explosion was.
They're all still standing.
Yeah, it was not like a kind of like concussive force, it was just fire.
Gotcha. Okay, if it seemed like everyone was sort of taking care of each other there already, then I'm going to turn tail.
Yeah.
And start running back, I guess.
Okay,
but
cool.
If I pass, like, an alleyway or anything, if I can even just, like, try and get a glimpse of, like, what that site looks like at all, and also see if I could see Caleb.
Sure. Make me a perception check.
Nope. Nat 1.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you try to look, but
No, Malachi, the flower shop is this way!
between the smoke and the, like, people who are running in all directions, and you can't see the center of the explosion, and you don't see any sign of Caleb.
Oh, I want to investigate, but I don't want to leave everyone else out to dry, so okay.
Okay. I will say that the chaos of the explosion is going to allow you to get safely to the flower shop, although you do arrive there a little while after Finn and Regin. The two of you dimension door into the middle of this flower shop. You see all 6 at this point of the people who you are with. So you see Baleen kind of immediately, as soon as you guys appear, like, runs up and, like, grabs Finn and is like, oh my god, are you okay? There was an explosion!
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Slightly singed,
Great.
but, you know,
Okay.
I've been through worse.
Cool! She, like, grabs you and hugs you.
I hug her, too. I'm like, how are you? You're the one who was about to get executed.
Yeah!
Like,
I mean,
how are you doing?
I'm not dead, so really, like, that's an improvement over what I kind of thought might happen. Yeah, not dead.
Nice.
Great.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
We do our long, elaborate secret handshake.
As you're doing the long, elaborate secret handshake, Regin, you kind of look around. You see that Shiloh is, like, kneeling down next to Rosie and is, like, casting the mending cantrip to kind of, like, fix the places that Rosie is all, like, banged up. You see that the other 3 are kind of, like, grouped together. They all look also a little bit singed, as if they were, like, caught in the outskirts of this blast, because they were just, like, a couple rounds ahead of Malachi, essentially. You see that Quarion seems to be, like, healing them and kind of, like, getting everybody to a sort of, like, stable place. Ben is kind of, like, crouched by one of the windows, like, looking out, and he, like, looks over as you guys appear and is like, hey, what about, did Kassir make it out?
He's on his way.
Okay, great.
Hopefully.
What's the exit strategy? You guys have a boat? You have something?
We have a boat.
Okay, great.
So the exit strategy is ocean.
Great. Yeah, usually that's the exit strategy, in my experience.
It's the answer to all life's problems, you know?
Shiloh, like, finishes fixing Rosie and kind of, like, gets up and comes over to the two of you and is sort of, like, looking you over. Nani, remind me, how fucked up is Regin?
I have 10 HP.
Okay. Shiloh will kind of, like, hold out her hand, and will give you a second
I give her a
level.
high five.
Yeah, she, like, takes the high five.
You crush her under your massive paw.
And as she does, as she high fives you, she will cure wounds you. For...
Oh, my wound.
you gain... No. You gain 12 hit points.
Thank you.
And she sort of, like, nods at both of you and is like, what the fuck was that explosion?
Fire.
I second that. He's correct. It was.
I kind of
fire.
figured. Okay.
That's all I got. I got a nat 20 on my perception, Shiloh, and I still have no idea. So It was something pretty advanced.
All right.
Wasn't us, if that's what you're asking.
That is a little bit what I was asking. I would have thought that would have been a crucial part of the plan for me to know, but at this point, Malachi, you kind of, like, throw open the door and take stock of everybody inside.
Burst gasping onto the scene.
Oh, hey, Mal.
Yeah, I burst in, I see that everyone's there, and I immediately, like, stick my head back out into the alley. Can I see anybody?
Make a perception check.
Well, it can't be worse than last time.
Don't say that. Could be, well, that's true. I guess it could be the same.
It was a 1.
Yeah.
A 10.
A 10. You don't see anyone who seems to be looking for you directly. There are definitely still, like, people running, and you see some guards among them, but there's no one who seems to have, like, tracked your movement into the flower shop.
Okay. I assume this isn't, like, a busy road that we chose, like, that the shop is on. Are there any, like, empty alleys?
Yeah, I believe what we said is that, like, on one side there was like a window or something.
Yeah.
Because you guys were looking for somewhere that had multiple exits. So that alley is empty. There's no one in there.
Shut the door behind me. Lock it just to be sure. Is everyone okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look around at everybody. They all seem fine.
They're all like nodding and kind of like looking back and forth.
Okay. Regin's normal size now, right?
No.
Okay. Regin, you need to be small.
Well, sorry about your ego. Oh, no.
Wrong accent.
Also, the duration of Enlarge Reduce is only a minute. So as you start to...
But Potion of Giant Strength and Size is 1d4 hours.
I forgot you didn't cast it yourself.
So...
Roll the d4. Come on. This is important.
2.
Wow.
Can you drop concentration on a potion, or is it just like...
We gotta wait till I pee it out.
No, you can end the effect of it.
Why do you not want to?
That's the way this one works.
Okay, what if we take this tarp and put it over Regin and pretend he's our horse?
No. That's a person.
Look, you guys are always... No!
You can do this.
You guys are always ragging on me for being the shortest one, so I get to be the tallest one for a little while.
Regin, we need to be stealthy when we escape this place. Just...
Oh, Mr. Rock Paladin's gonna lecture me. No,
what the fuck?
Maybe this is just like Reagan's thing now.
'Twas Potion of Giant Scotsman. Big Mr. Rock Guy is talking to me about being stealthy.
What?
I'm stealthy.
If it makes you feel any better, even if you're normal size, Shiloh's way smaller than you.
It does not, but thank you.
Yeah. And then right now, Shiloh is like, comes up to like your knee, basically, and is just like looking up at you.
Yeah.
So when you high-fived her, you had to like reach way down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you aren't tall. Regin, we need to go.
Okay, we can go. Does anybody have disguise? Do I have disguise self? I have disguise self.
You did it last session.
Did I? Good for me. All right. I'm gonna cast disguise self to make myself look like a petite elven woman.
Okay.
Mom?
All right.
Nice.
Oh, also, can I say that while we were throughout this conversation, I took a minute to inhale an espresso so I get my slots back?
Yeah, you totally can. Yeah, you do that while you guys are hanging out in the...
Just chilling.
That's the stuff.
In the flower shop, kind of taking care of each other.
Well, Malachi's bullying me.
I'm not bullying you. We need to go, and you're too obsessed with being large.
No, you're obsessed with being large.
Guys, you're both obsessed with being large, okay? Let's
I'm not
go.
obsessed with it. That's just the way I am.
Does anybody else want to do anything kind of in the flower shop?
I want to pick out a nice flower for myself.
Okay. Yeah.
I want this to add to my petite elven woman disguise.
Yeah, totally. Make a perception or an investigation check, actually.
11.
Wow, you found a pretty nice one. It's
Nice.
yellow.
Nice.
I look at Regin, I'm like, oh, we should have held on to that fancy lady hat.
So true.
Okay, I guess peek out the window just to make sure that alley's clear, and then we go out?
Okay.
Unless anyone thinks we should wait it out a bit.
No, I think the sooner we get gone, the better.
Oh, yeah, definitely
Yeah,
want
I think they're going to start
beat
combing
feet.
the streets. Especially after that explosion.
I minor illusion to make myself look like,
The same exact petite elven woman.
They're twins.
My minor illusion can't change my height. It's not disguised self.
Well, you're petite, aren't you?
Regin, you know I'm not.
Petite's a state of mind.
I minor illusion to... Actually, I go back to that same, like, bald, bearded disguise I used earlier today.
Cool. You see, Quarian kind of looks at you guys and is like, would there be any advantage to us splitting up and meeting up wherever you're supposed to be, or do you think we'll be better off staying together?
Never split the party.
Yeah, I think we're better off together.
Okay.
So long as we can keep to less busy areas, we should be okay.
All right. You guys do a quick check of the alley, and then you all go out the window. So, here's how this is going to work. There are essentially 4 areas of the city that you guys need to get through in order to get to the docks, where you have a chance of putting Matt Black in the water and getting away. For each of those 4 areas, we're going to do a group stealth check. So everybody, and then also each of your NPCs, so this is going to be a lot of me rolling, but each of you and then also all your NPCs are going to make a stealth check. If more than half the group fails the stealth check, which there's different DCs in different parts of the city, if more than half the group fails the stealth check, then we're going to do a encounter roll to see kind of what you run into and what fight you end up in. So, for this kind of first section, for getting away from the flower shop and kind of toward the, away from the square, everybody go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Yeah, I got a 9.
Okay.
I got a 12.
I got a 16.
Good for you. All right, give me 1 second to roll for a whole bunch of people. Most of them are better at stealth than you guys are, so this probably will help you.
Wow.
But also I don't roll
jinx
that well, so we'll see. Okay. Yikes.
Oh, Hannah. What if we roll for the NPCs?
What if you, our listeners, rolled for the NPCs?
I'll
Call in now.
I'll let you guys roll in the next quadrant, because that was 2 nat ones for me so far, and the rest of them weren't great either.
Hannah!
Iconic Hannah experience.
Yeah, this all lines up. Usually it benefits you guys. Unfortunately, not this time. You overall, some of you are pretty fine. Regin, your disguise seems to be doing a great job of passing you off. You guys also see that Cleo, who is kind of the monk you picked up on, seems to be like very adept at sticking to the shadows and like takes the lead with the group. However,
wow. Remember when somebody said that if I was big, I wouldn't be stealthy? Wow.
You're a petite woman right now.
I'm still big.
12 feet tall.
Wait,
petite.
did you cast disguise self without dismissing the hugeness?
Yeah.
But you're,
God.
I mean, you're still appear like a small woman.
I'm stealthy.
Right, we just got to avoid like low-hanging beams.
Yeah. Regin
Regin.
is like very carefully walking in between, like not under overhangs. Yeah.
This petite woman is moving so strangely.
However, others among you, Baleen kind of still seems to be figuring out how creeping stealthily through this unfamiliar city that she's never seen before is. And you see Shiloh also has heavy armor, which is kind of makes it difficult for her to be stealthy. So I need somebody to roll a d20 for me.
Oh, shit! Yeah, but also after this one, I'm gonna do my merge with stone thing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Did you use that already today?
Did
I feel
Was
like
that
I remember
today?
you using it.
I think I did it.
I remember you asking me about if stuff was made of stone, which usually means
That
you're
was
gonna use it.
that was for difficult terrain.
Okay.
Not this. Yeah,
Got it.
I think I used this last when we were originally investigating, which was the day before.
Day before. Great.
I'll roll the d20.
Okay.
11.
Okay. Not great, but also not horrible.
Just like me as a
So,
person.
as you guys are kind of making your way through this first part of the city, you hear a kind of like shout of, "Hey!" And you see 3 kind of like normal looking guards, 1 Rorian guard, and 1 person who looks like a priest, kind of corners you guys, and is like, "You're under arrest. Everybody go ahead."
Why?
Yeah, they don't recognize Finn and Regin at all.
They don't recognize Finn and Regin at all, but they kind of clock that you're all a group, and they recognize some of you. So everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
All right. 21.
14.
17.
Finn, do you want Nurgle to have, like, come down back with you guys, or is he still just, like, up and is going to meet you at the dock?
Can I say that I've been having him, like, tracking us from the sky?
Yeah.
So he's not on my shoulder, but he's around if I need him to swoop down.
Cool, I will say that. We won't put him in initiative, though, but let me know if he, like, ends up needing to be. Alright. I just rolled 3 3s in a row.
What's happening to you right now?
I don't know.
This is good for us, though, right?
Well, you have a lot of allies here, too.
Well, maybe all those 3s were for the guards.
Maybe. Okay, so first to act is Finn. So basically, there are still kind of other people around, and you sort of get the idea that it would behoove you guys to, like, finish this quickly before it draws any more attention. However, the only people who have kind of currently noticed you are this Rorian guard, these 3 kind of normal-looking guards, and this priest. Alternatively, if you wanted to just try and, like, break into an all-out sprint and run for it, you can do that too. But I think you kind of, like, get that then they're kind of calling the alarm and have a better lock on your position, as opposed to if you just deal with these guys, you might be able to slip back into the crowd and into the streets again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess first I'm like, hey, listen, any chance that we could just keep on our way? I think you've got the wrong guys here.
I, like, school my face into who, me?
Yeah, Andy, make me an insight check.
12.
And then go ahead and make me a deception check.
15.
Okay. You see that the Rorian guard kind of, like, clearly is in charge here. I mean, he kind of, like, squints at you and seems to maybe be, like, not entirely buying what you're saying, and then points at Malachi and is like, that one definitely was in the square.
That's just my pet rock.
No.
It's all the rage where I'm from.
Oh,
He draws his sword.
Malachi clenches
All right,
his teeth
fine.
so hard you guys can hear it. Yeah.
All right, fine. Jeez. I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast the Rorian guard.
Cool. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
That's a 19 and a 23.
Both hit. Roll your damage.
That's 23 damage total.
Oh my god. Cool.
Big rolls over here.
You unleash these 2 Eldritch Blasts. This completely normal-looking man who is just trying to convince him that he means no harm, all of a sudden is sending these blasts of magic into this poor guy.
And I shout, I've done nothing wrong!
He kind of, like, stumbles back a little and is clearly pretty fucked up already. Cool. Next up is the priest.
And?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I forgot about that
Go
guy.
on, go on.
And I summon my tentacle, not in attack position, but basically I summon it right behind us, so it's sort of like skulking on the ground so the guards can't see it.
Okay.
But it's ready to spring into action and defend one of us from an attack.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Nice.
Sick. That is the priest's turn. He is going to go ahead and, kind of, like, move in. Actually, no. You just almost took his guy out, so I don't think he really wants to get closer to you guys. So he is instead actually going to move behind the guards, and just shoot off a guiding bolt at, Finn. He will do it at a 2nd level.
Your Holiness, please, these guards are afflicted by some strange madness.
Damn it. I don't suppose an 11 hits?
No, it does not.
Okay. This bolt of radiant light kind of, like, juts out at you, and you just, like, duck to the side.
Whoop.
I shout to the guard, wow, looks like this guy's on our side, be careful.
I am not! I am on the side of the gods!
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Yeah, that's our side.
Cool. Next up is Malachi.
Nice. Well, does the Roaring Guard look like actually like hurt, or is he like?
Yeah, they don't have that many hit points. He looks like Finn's. Those. That was a lot of damage for Eldritch Blasts.
All right. I guess I will go after him with my first one.
Okay.
We're like close enough to get into melee, right?
Yeah.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does hit.
Nice. Okay. Rerolling that. Great weapon fighting. All right, 15 damage on the first hit.
Okay. He is still standing.
All right, we'll go.
Sorry, I should have mentioned pet rocks are notoriously unfriendly to strangers.
We'll go again.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Oh my god. Yeah. Roll your crit damage.
All right. Yeah. I rolled so well. So that's 22 damage.
Yeah, he's very, very much dead.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I turn to the priest. So the priest who is standing. Actually, the priest kind of sucks, and we have magic resistance. Should I go after a guard instead? Do we think?
With what? You made 2 attacks.
Oh, right. Never mind. So that's it then.
Sick. Yeah. You take out this. The others look worried. Cool.
All right. I'm like, okay. Can we be done?
That is going to be Shiloh's turn. She is going to go ahead and I think she's actually just going to shoot a firebolt at the priest. Oh, good job. Yeah, she hits. His armor class is not that high. So she does. Oh my god. 16 damage to him. With a jet of fire that comes out from the end of her hammer. Regin, that is going to be you.
Alright, so give me a little breakdown, if you would, of the way that everybody is positioned.
Yeah, so at the moment you have, there's basically a little bit of a standoff. The only person who has engaged them in melee so far is Malachi. So you've got Malachi up there, I'm going to say in melee with one of the guards. And then the other 2 guards are kind of standing there, and then the priest is behind them, but only 10 feet or so behind them. And then the tentacle is kind of behind the priest.
Okay.
The tentacle is behind us.
Oh, sorry. The tentacle is behind you guys.
Cool.
And all of your allies are still kind of back in this clump with you.
In that case, I'm going to, quicken spell, cast Shatter, centered on a point. Ideally, that would take all 3 guards.
How big is Shatter?
10 foot.
10 foot radius? Yeah, if it's a 10 foot radius, then yeah, you can hit all of them.
Including the priest?
Yeah, he stepped back a bit, but not that far back. Not more than 20 feet.
Cool.
So, yeah, you can hit all of them.
Nice. So I'll need con saves, please.
Cool. That is a 8 for the priest. And then 2 16s and a 7 for the guards.
Okay, so the 16s pass,
Cool.
the 7 and the other one fail.
Neat.
So it's 13 thunder damage to the 2 who failed.
Cool.
And then, what is that? 6
Yeah.
to the 2 who saved.
Cool. The priest and one of the guards are immediately down. You see the other 2 guards who managed to kind of save against this are still standing, kind of holding their heads. But they are looking extremely messed up.
Great, and now I'm going to attack the one who is not in melee with Malachi using my Warhammer two-handed.
Beautiful.
It's a 16 to hit.
That hits.
I turn towards the NPCs we're with and gesture to Regin. I'm like, huh?
They kind of look impressed by
Multifunction.
by the way that all of you have been making quick work of this.
And so that's going to be 9.
Nice, that'll do it.
Nice.
Yeah, he is. You smash him in the head with your warhammer.
Is the disguise self still up?
Yes. Disguise self isn't concentration. You can keep disguise
It's
self up
not?
as long as you
In
want.
that case, I'm just a petite elven woman.
Help me out. So what are the mechanics of this? Could we see the hammer?
But the warhammer's like floating above her head because her arms are too short.
Or did we just see petite elf woman run up to the guard and he's suddenly smushed by an invisible force?
I'm honestly not. I think you'd have to be able to see the hammer, or the hammer looks like an umbrella or something.
Oh yeah, I feel like it looks like it's like floating above her hands because she's just so much smaller.
Yeah, it's coming from the wrong position.
She summoned a spiritual weapon.
She's piloting a Jaeger.
Wow. Okay, great. This one guard who is left is going to take the.
Amy Rose or Harley Quinn? You decide.
He's going to take the disengage action and run. However, because he has to disengage from Malachi, he can only get 30 feet away. So he is 30 feet away from you guys.
All right, we can't let him leave though.
Baleen can't do anything, so she just kind of stands behind you. Cleo, however, actually might have the speed to catch him. Let me look at her stat block real quick.
Ooh, love a monk.
Love a monk.
Baleen, cast your 9th level spells that you can cast, because I decided it in your backstory.
Baleen, cast wish. Get us out of here.
Baleen's like, what? No!
Baleen, cast wish. Destroy Lithios.
I would love to.
Wait, hold on, that seems like a jump.
Yeah, okay, cool. Cleo can totally catch up with this guy.
Gotta be careful how you word wishes.
So she's gonna go ahead and take her attacks. Nice. Misses on the first one, hits on the second one, and almost certainly this will do it. He has 5 hit points left.
That's monks.
That is monks. Yeah. You see Cleo just kind of like very quickly like darts past you guys and just like puts an elbow in the back of this guy's head as he's fleeing, and he drops to the ground, and she kind of like spins around and is like, let's go, let's go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, vamoose.
Cool. You guys all take off again toward the rest of the city. You see that the AAA members are kind of like looking at you guys like, damn. And you see that
You should see how we complete an obstacle course.
Oh yeah, sorry, Ben.
I wink at Ben.
Ben like kind of like looks confused for a second. It's like, fuck, did you beat our fucking record?
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Wow. I mean, I gotta respect it, I guess.
Does Quarian look impressed?
Yes.
Nice.
He does look impressed. Awesome. So that was the first quadrant in the city. You guys managed to get out and into the second part of the city. I'm going to need another group stealth check.
Oh, in between then I want to do my pass without trace.
14.
5?
So it's gonna be a 25.
Nice. Let me roll for all you guys. Do you guys want to roll for them? Or is it easier if I just
Depends, Hannah. You feeling lucky?
roll? Never. I'll switch to my good dice. Give me a second. Wow. Okay, this is enough middling rolls that I need to do some math real quick. Give me a second.
Love to skew the average.
Yeah, you do skew the average. Yeah, that was enough over the DC for this quadrant, which was 15, that you guys managed to, like, just barely squeak by, including a crit success from Baleen, who manages to sort of, like,
Baleen.
she seems to have figured out now how stealthing works and manages to, like, find you guys a shortcut that, like, gets you around around a group of guards. Cool.
Nice. It's just like sneaking around Cod Creek.
She grins and winks at you. Okay, so as you guys kind of, like, get into this third quadrant, you sort of have a choice to veer off either into a part of the city that, like, has more places to hide and kind of, like, more, is a little bit easier to sneak through, but that also seems to have, like, an increased, military presence as you're, like, looking down into that area, and you know from the, like, recon you did over the past few days. So or you can kind of stick to the main roads and kind of try and lose yourselves in the crowd more. And if you run into someone, it'll probably only be like a couple guards who happen to notice who you are. But it's a little bit harder to hide in that area. So basically, you can either choose to have a higher stealth DC, but probably an easier fight if you do get caught, or you can choose to risk it and take the lower stealth DC, but if you fail that anyway, then it's going to be a harder fight.
What do y'all think?
My instinct is to go for the lower DC, simply because I don't trust us to roll well. But I am wondering if there's any chance of, like, disguising our NPCs to, like, maybe impose dis on people trying to recognize them or whatever. Like, even just a hat or a bag or something, you know?
What did you said you want to do the one that's the lower DC but riskier fight?
Yeah.
Nope, I'm sorry. I meant the crowd option, not the sneaky option.
It's like if the crowd is the stealth DC is higher overall, so you're more likely to fail, but if you do fail, it'll be an easier fight
because there are more normal people and less guards.
Right, more normal people and less guards. So like you probably would just run into a couple of guards, as opposed to if you sneak off into these alleyways, anyone who finds you, it's going to be harder for them to find you, but it's going to mean they're specifically looking for you, and it's the harder troops.
I'm for the crowd if we can figure out disguises, because the only thing that I don't like about that is I don't want people to know where we've gone. Because, like, a normal person could still follow us or, like, say something to someone higher up that could come back against us later, hypothetically, is my thinking.
I think you would know that from the way things kind of went in the square.
Or are they so panicked that it's just not going to matter?
Like, crowds people might see you, but in terms of, like, it's not going to make that much of a difference in terms of the encounters, and your cover is kind of blown in terms of everybody knows that you were on this island and broke them out.
Right.
So, like, if a crowds person kind of was like, hey, look, those guys over there, that's the encounter check. Like, that's what would happen. There isn't, like, a risk of, like...
So it would only matter if we failed this DC anyways,
exactly.
I guess. Okay.
The stealth, it would only matter if you failed the stealth. Exactly.
So I'm still inclined to go with the crowd.
I'm fine with that.
That's fine. Yeah.
Which I realize is the exact opposite of what I was saying, but it is what I meant.
That's fine. And I have dis, but I do have plus 10. So.
Okay. Cool. Go ahead and give me stealth rolls.
16.
Okay.
19.
14.
Okay. I'll say these ones out loud as I do them. That is a 12 for Quarion.
Mm-hmm.
He's too damn regal. He's drawing everyone's eye.
21 for Cleo.
Queen.
I love this girl.
Yeah. 9 for Oriana.
Cleo's so good at stealth that Finn has forgotten she's with them. Like, all right, everyone's here, all 6 of us.
Who's this goat man?
3 for Shiloh, as she has to kind of, like, stop to make sure that Rosie is still following with you guys. 12 for Ben. And, come on, Baleen. Come on, girly. She crit again. Oh my god! She's really killing it here.
Hero.
Okay. Unfortunately, with the higher DC, that is still only one. So Regin passes, Cleo passes, and then Baleen's counts as 2 successes. But everybody else fails. So that means that you see kind of like one of the people in the crowd sort of like spots someone like bumps into Regin and kind of like notices that there's something off about the disguise versus what they've actually noticed, and kind of like yells to a couple of guards who come over. You guys see that there's just like a group of 5. Actually, well, someone go ahead and still roll a d20 for me.
18.
18. Cool. That means there's just like 5 normal guards. You don't see any Rorian guard over here. 5 normal guards are kind of like coming towards you guys.
Damn, that's my favorite burger restaurant in Lithios.
Everybody go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Well, if you insist.
Again?
11.
Okay.
13.
13 also.
Wow. Okay, that is a nat 1 for the guards on their initiative. So let's see if you guys can take out all of them before they even get
You said there were 5?
There's 5 of them, yeah. There's 5 of them. They look like just kind of normal guys. But since this is a more populated area, there is kind of like more of a risk of anything flashy drawing attention to you. But
and
you see them kind of
try not to hurt the civilians.
Yep, and try not to hurt the civilians, but you see them kind of like coming over in your direction. I'm going to keep everybody else in the same initiative they were for my own convenience, which means that Shiloh is up first. She is, I think, going to... Yeah, she doesn't really have much that's more subtle than just attacking, so she's going to go ahead and just attack with her hammer.
She could have Rosie bite their Achilles tendons.
Wow. That's true. Yeah, always an option to have your metal dog bite someone's Achilles tendon. Rosie instead, I think, is just going to give her advantage. Actually, Rosie's attack is not bad. I'm just going to have them both attack. So Shiloh misses with her attack. Rosie, come on. Yes. Rosie leaps up to bite with her teeth.
As opposed to what?
Yeah, you got me there. Okay, not great damage, but she does manage to sink her teeth in.
Rosie actually has 7 mouths.
Okay.
Some of them have other things.
Malachi, that's you.
Well.
Actually, I think technically it should be Regin.
Yeah, it's Regin. He has a higher dex mod.
Alright, so can I assume that these gentlemen are all kind of clustered?
You can.
Oh,
Can
nice.
I assume that they're perhaps all clustered within a, one
Actually,
might say?
Sorry, I said that you could, but I don't think you can assume that. I think that from the way that it was set up, they're sort of like moving toward you throughout the crowd. So I'm going to say that like there's a group of 2 and then a group of 3.
Please don't shatter the civilians.
Yeah, and I don't think that anyone is far enough away from a bunch of civilians at this point. You guys are sort of like off to the side enough that like normal attacks can kind of go without being noticed, and something like shock and grasp could go without being noticed, but a shatter is gonna hit too many people.
And that would probably outright kill some civilians.
Very well might.
Listen!
Alright, I'll just do a two-handed attack on one from the group of 3.
Sick.
That is a 19 to hit.
Hits, roll your damage.
And 11 damage.
Wow, that is exactly how many hit points these guys have. So you managed to just completely like come in with your hammer and just like slam this guy right in the chest plate of his armor, and he just goes down.
Huh.
Cool.
She may be petite, but she packs a wallop.
Malachi, that's you.
Well, I will go for one of the other guys.
Cool.
Malachi's very limited in his his options here. But he's fucking effective. That's a 27.
Hits.
And he's down. That's 15.
Yep. You take one out with one hit.
Can I assume I can make it to another?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'll say you went for the same group of 3 that Regin did, so there's another
Sweet.
one standing there.
Ooh, does a 13 hit?
No, a 13 does not hit.
C'est la vie.
You take out one, and the other guy kind of like readies himself as you come. It's like, ah!
I get a little stuck in the armor.
Yeah. Cool. That is Finn's.
Stay right there.
Well, technically it's Baylene's turn. She's going to take the dodge action and move out of the way. And then it is Finn's turn.
Good dodge, Baylene.
Thanks! Really don't want to get killed.
Haha, I feel that. And then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast these fellas.
Awesome.
Fire my first. 10 to hit.
10 does not hit.
14 to hit on the other.
14 also does not hit.
Aw, man.
Nani, what'd you hit with?
A 19.
Oh. Well, they weren't. The last one we ran into wasn't wearing plates, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess, yeah, I fire. I'm too distracted by being impressed by Baylene's dodge to aim properly.
It was simply so good.
Like, I'm not even looking where I'm shooting. I'm just looking at her like, I mean, wow, your fundamentals, like the dexterity, really so good.
Self-defense training.
As Finn's, like, complimenting Baylene, I'm, like, watching Finn just, like, go, like, Finn!
Huh? Ah, shoot.
I mean, oh, fuck. I forgot your disguise name. Wizard Boy?
I don't think I had a name in this disguise.
Cleo is going to run up to the one that Rosie hit and is going to try and hit that one. She hits on her first attack, misses on her second attack. Ooh. Come on, stay on that. And will hit with her third attack. So that is... Ooh, okay. She actually kills him with her first attack because Rosie already bit him. So then she'll switch to the other one who's standing there and does a bit of damage to that one. Cool. Then it is Ben's turn. Ben, what can you do without a weapon?
Ben's just gonna sing a happy little tune.
Oh, he does have vicious mockery.
Ben is going to remember the beatific grin Mal shot at him uncharacteristically earlier today.
Ben is going to just kind of like see, this is where we run into I don't like using vicious mockery because I can't think of any insults ever in my life. But he kind of like looks at the like one of the two remaining guards that Cleo's already hit and be like, wow, a bunch of fugitives and you're just immediately getting killed. Okay, great.
Finn loses it laughing. Oh my god, that's so good. Oh, that's vicious, man. That's good stuff.
This guy has to make a charisma saving throw.
The petite elven woman simply says, cringe.
He gets a 2 on his charisma saving throw, which seems to be from Finn's laughter, and the word cringe from this tiny elven woman who just killed someone in one hit. So he takes... Perfect, that's enough damage to kill him. So he goes down.
Wow, Ben, that was harsh.
Ben just kind of shrugs. And then... Quarion is going to he just kind of like holds up his hand and like a ball of fire appears in his hand, which he will then shoot at the one guard that we've got left.
A fireball?
Fireball.
Oh, that's a miss. He's distracted by the rest of you.
By us singing Fireball.
Yeah.
By Mr. Worldwide.
And Oriana, I think, is the one who's the most stuck without their weapons. So I think is actually going to...
Oriana's the Triton?
Oriana's the Fearbolg.
Oh, the Fearbolg.
Yeah.
Oh, Cleo's the Triton. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. I think is actually just going to also take the dodge action and kind of like back up. The one guard who's remaining is going to take a swing at Regin to see if he can knock out this, again, petite elven woman.
I say, hey!
Stabbing into you with this spear he's got. Ooh, that'll hit. Regin, you take... Wow, 8 piercing damage as you get stabbed with this spear. And then it is Shiloh and Rosie's turn again. Shiloh will shoot a firebolt this time. That'll miss. And then Rosie's gonna run over and try and bite. Wow, good for Rosie. That is... Again, both times for Rosie, I rolled really high on the attack and then a 1 on the damage dice. So once again, she chomps
She's
into
a sweet
this guy,
little dog.
and it's just like hanging off his arm. Regin, that's your turn.
Alright, I'm going to two-handed smash this man who stabbed me.
Excellent.
I say, how rude! And then
And her giant floating hammer raises into the air.
and then I miss.
Oh no! Okay, Malachi, that's you then.
How many are still standing?
Regin, it looks like you're doing some sort of clumsy dance with the one guy who's left here. It's just that one.
Oh, and that's the one who just stabbed Regin?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go after him.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
17 to hit?
17 does hit, yes.
All right. I thought so. It's only 8 damage.
Okay. He's actually still up. Good for this guy.
Well, I'll hit him again. Well, I'll try and hit him again.
Great.
Yeah, I hit him. That's a dirty 20.
Beautiful.
No, that's a 21.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage, but he's down no matter what you roll.
Oh, he's so down. 10 damage.
Yep, he is so down. You guys quickly drop these guards. You see kind of like a few heads are starting to turn, but everything kind of like happens so quickly that there isn't time for anyone else. You see like some people in the crowd are kind of like, hey! But you guys like very quickly just like keep going.
Question to the rest of the party. Are we killing these guys or are we just knocking them out?
Hadn't really thought about it.
That's an option.
I mean, yeah.
I'll say that I non-lethaled that one guy I killed. Or didn't kill.
Okay.
I think I want to non-lethal them. Except for maybe the one Rorian guard.
I whisper to Malachi.
And the priest.
Okay, hold on. We hop in the time machine. Back when I was Eldritch Blasting the Rorian Guard, I lean into Malachi. Hey, should I kill this guy or just knock him out?
These guys are bad news.
All right, whatever happens to him is on your conscience, not mine.
Well, I feel like they're more intimately connected to the monarchy, which is very bad, and so I feel like they're more
I already killed him.
So. No, I killed him.
No, I killed the Rorian Guard.
No,
you're so right.
Guard.
I'm Spartacus.
Oh yeah, you killed him. Well, it's still on your conscience.
Okay.
Anyways, I think we're just knocking out the normal guards.
Cool.
But I think we killed the Rorian Guard and the priest.
Okay, great.
Whoa, we killed the priest?
Yeah, he's part of an evil church.
I guess. I don't know. We don't really know at what level of the organization you become evil, though.
All right, whatever. Fine, we knocked out the priest.
You guys run into the fourth quadrant. At this point, you just have to get through.
As we run away from that encounter, I lean into Bailey and I'm like, we helped.
Cool. At this point, you have kind of like almost made it out of the city. I need one more group stealth check to see if you can get to the docks without encountering any more problems.
God, I'm rolling like shit here. 12 again.
11.
18.
Nice. Wow, so true, Cleo. Cleo crit on hers.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, this last section of the city was actually only a DC 12, so you guys managed to have over half the group pass, and you find yourselves kind of at the edge of the docks. Unfortunately, it does look like the docks are kind of one of the first things that gets locked down when something like this happens in the city. You see a larger guard presence here. Mostly just kind of normal guards, less of the like Rorian guard or the priests, as it seems like it was more of just kind of like this is kind of standard protocol. And fortunately for you guys, the general focus seems to be on making sure people don't get on boats. It's like all kind of ships here, all like ships in and out have stopped. You guys see like ships kind of like waiting out further, kind of like as if they were waiting to come in, but have been barred from coming in. There's like a big like red flag flying that some of you would know kind of indicates that the port is on lockdown. You guys don't need to worry about getting onto a ship. You just have to you have to approach
water.
however you're going to approach this. So what do you guys...
How many are we?
9 plus Nurgle and Rosie.
I was gonna ask a really stupid, cheaty question. Well, not cheaty, but like...
Bullshit.
Yeah.
What was it going to be?
But I think 9's too many. I was gonna ask if everyone takes a little sip of the water-breathing potion, can they breathe water for like 5 minutes instead? Enough for us to just swim away and then...
I like the idea. Unfortunately, no. But you would be able to, between how long people can hold their breath. In D&D, you can hold your breath for, like, a really long amount of time. And no one has, like, completely shitty constitution. So that would be an option if you can kind of get to the water to swim under.
Because, like, if we could just get to a place where we could, like, slip in and swim out far enough, we can get on a little rowboat, or even not in a rowboat, just like swim off to a more secluded area. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we only need to be underwater long enough to evade detection.
for a couple minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
I look at everyone. How long can you hold your breath?
Well, here's the big question: is there any firepower trained on the harbor? Like, what are the methods they have in place to physically stop a ship from sailing away?
Yeah, it looks like there are kind of like watchtowers. This is a great question. There are like watchtowers at kind of like certain points along the... You guys are in this like one particular harbor. There's like a watchtower on either side of it that has cannons for kind of defending the port against ships coming in, but that presumably also could be trained on a ship that was fleeing. But you don't know... I think you don't know the exact range of these cannons, but you'd guess it's probably not, like, more than, like, 500 feet.
Well, and, like, we could just swim underwater to evade detection for a little bit, and then just, like, fully swim until we can find somewhere we
Right,
can...
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're not going to be looking for something that little.
Like, they're not going to be looking for little heads bobbing in the water, so I think we're fine.
Yeah.
If we can find a place to slip in.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so do you guys want to try and, like, stealth...
Hey Shiloh, is Rosie waterproof?
Shiloh, like, winces and looks at Rosie and is like, no, but if we get out of here, I can fix her. Sorry, girl. And, like, pats her, and Rosie's like,
If Rosie drinks the potion.
Yeah, no, deadass, if Rosie drinks the potion.
that will not help with her still being a metal
true.
dog.
Finn, do you have shape water?
Finn looks like really like annoyed at Regin and sort of sourly is like, no, I don't.
What if Finn were to cast Destroy Water in, like, a very controlled manner so that it's just
We've talked about
a
this
bubble
before.
around Rosie?
It doesn't create a
She
bubble, it
wouldn't be
create a
able to move.
vacuum.
not for as far as you guys need to go. Yeah.
What is a vacuum but a bubble?
That's fine. If she can be repaired.
Yeah. Shadow's like, she'll just kind of walk along the bottom of the ocean, then I'll fix her.
All right.
Okay.
She doesn't need to breathe, is the upside.
True.
Nice.
And Cleo was like, I'm good with breathing underwater. And Ben's like,
Oh.
I actually also don't...
Yeah, I high five Cleo.
She gives you a high five. And Ben's like, I actually don't really need to breathe.
Right.
So we're good.
Not exactly the same, but also cool. I high five Ben.
He high fives you. It's a great high five. Just like one of those like really splendid ones.
Oh.
Baleen and Quarion and Oriana. Those are the
Yeah.
only three we aren't.
They kind of like look among themselves. They're like, we'll be good to at least get out.
Baleen can hold her breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been...
She works in the water.
What's the word? What's the kind of fishing where you like dive underwater and then like look around for a fish?
Diving.
Is there like
No.
a term for it though?
Yeah, there's a word for it.
I don't remember
Like
it.
pearl diving?
Yeah,
Ooh,
but
yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, she's been pearl diving plenty.
Baleen nods. She's like,
All right.
yeah, I can hold my breath.
Wink.
I slap Regin.
And as far as the coastline, is there somewhere that it looks like a direction we can swim to where we could make our ship big and get out of here easily enough?
Yeah, there's like basically if you can kind of like get behind these other ships that are like waiting out there, there's kind of like enough of them that you think it wouldn't be
Yeah.
that much of an issue to
That
kind
makes
of
sense.
like make your ship appear. They're spread out enough. If you get lucky, no one will notice. If you get unlucky, I mean, you are a matte black ship with a giant flame decal on the side. But you know,
Who's gonna suspect that one?
it's worth a try. You probably would still be able to sail away,
Yeah.
and you know you'd be out of range of the cannons.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want to just, I will say you can kind of either just like sprint for the water's edge, or you can try and like stealth and see how close you can get.
I would prefer to try and stealth, I think.
Stealth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of rolling stealth this episode, team, but let's do
Sure
one more.
is.
See if we can get out there.
So hate crime against me personally.
Oh, finally.
With your
23.
plus 10.
There you go.
I have disadvantage, you'll recall.
15 for me.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna be a 12.
12. Okay. I will say with the kind of general group stealth, you guys are like able to get to the water's edge without being spotted immediately, but you are kind of like, as you go to get in the water, there is like a little bit of splashing that draws a bit of attention to you. Everybody give me a Constitution saving throw to basically represent how quickly you're able to get underwater and swim and get kind of like far away before anyone can do
Everyone
anything.
has my aura.
+4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let the record reflect my superior swimming speed as well.
Yes, in fact, I will say anybody who needs to breathe underwater does not need to make this save. Or anybody who can breathe underwater does not need to make this save.
So I don't need to do it?
So you're good, Finn's good, I need it from Regin and a bunch of the NPCs.
I will say that Malachi's not going to leave until everyone's gone.
Cool.
25 for Regin.
Oh my god. Okay. You see that, Quarion is like dragging behind a little bit, but especially with Malachi's aura, you're able to kind of like, and with that 25 from Regin, you guys are able to kind of like pull him along. Yeah. And the whole group manages to swim out to a point where you feel good about kind of like bringing your heads back above water, and like taking breaths at least before you go back under.
Hannah?
Yes.
Let me be clear. I never feel good about bringing my head out of the water.
Thank you. Important clarification.
It hurts every time.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
Yeah, and you guys manage to get out far enough that you can summon Matt Black. You see there's like a degree of confusion going on from everybody else who's with you. Yeah.
Oh, we sure didn't explain.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
I turn to Ben and I say, "Hey, Ben, you want to make a bet?"
Does this really seem like the time for bets?
I bet you, do you bet that I can't make a ship suddenly appear?
All right, it's always the time for bets. Well, I've seen quite a bit from your capabilities thus far, so honestly, it does seem like the sort of thing you could probably do, but I'll take the bet.
Nice. Solstice!
And when the ship pops up, Malachi goes, "Gotcha."
You did indeed get me, yes. I feel very gotten. And I've never been more thankful to be gotten, frankly.
Yeah, so now you can... we forgot to set what the terms of the bet were. Well, I still won.
He winks at you. Yeah, and you guys grab the ladder that hangs down from Matt Black and climb up onto your ship, and start to sail away. Now, I'm assuming that your kind of first priority is to just get as far away as possible.
Yeah.
You set Matt Black to the maximum thruster settings, and
Warp 9! Warp 9!
Regin, engage the ion drive!
And start to kind of jet away from Durmitor.
We do it in 12 seconds.
You are not pursued. You see that kind of it is possible, again, when the sort of investigation of this happens, there are probably people who will see how you escaped. But
they won't necessarily know it's us on that ship.
Yeah, and it overall took you, I'm going to say, maybe 20 minutes to get out of Durmitor and be gone, which is overall not bad.
Yeah, I turned to Ben. We're pretty good at getting through obstacles quickly.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I guess you are. He, sits down on the deck and kind of, leans back and, runs a hand through his hair. Yeah. You see kind of, everybody, this was a bit of a mad dash through the city, so everyone is just kind of, sitting down and, taking deep breaths, and there's this feeling among everyone of kind of holy shit, we're actually making it out of here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You guys think this is cool? Wait till you try out the bidet.
Ben, rubs his temples, and is
God, he's been in prison for years.
I have a lot of questions, just in general. Shiloh goes, yeah, I also have a lot of questions. Where the fuck have you been? We all thought you were dead. Ben, takes a deep breath and is like, yeah, sorry. Was not dead. I was undercover. We, safer to be undercover if everybody, even your friends, thinks that you're dead, although somehow it got blown anyway. And Shiloh's like, did the adventurer know? And Ben goes, yeah, she knew. She's the only one who did. But I found some stuff out before I got suddenly arrested and thrown in prison and then was about to be executed. So he looks up at the three of you and is like, hi, who the hell are you guys?
Hi, I'm Finn.
Hi, nice to meet you.
I'm gonna drop the disguised self, I think.
A still enlarged Regin appears
Matt
back
Black is like listing to one side slightly.
I'm centered. Matt loves me.
How long has it been
20 minutes
in total?
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, the entire thing? I thought you meant just sailing out took 20 minutes.
No, like, so from you guys getting from the flower shop to the dock took about 20 minutes. And then it's probably been like another 15 or so minutes of swimming and then getting on the boat and starting to sail
So
away.
we're almost to an hour.
Reagan's got about an hour left on his Storm Giant potion.
and I'm gonna enjoy it.
All right. Just don't go downstairs.
I sniff the top of Malachi's head.
Smells like sweat.
I kiss the top of Malachi's head.
God, I've always wanted to do that.
It does not smell like sweat. We were in the ocean.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Smells like the ocean.
I kiss the top of Finn's head. I kiss the top of everybody's head.
Oh,
All of it tastes like salt water.
That's the good stuff.
Okay.
Oh, and this, and I gesture to Nurgle, who lands on my arm, after a scene we didn't see where he had a protracted emotional goodbye with each of the seagulls that he's befriended. Is Nurgle.
Nurgle salutes.
He's independently wealthy.
Wait, what?
He has gold.
I'm sorry. Malachi Xir. I hold out my hand to shake his hand.
He shakes your hand, and it goes to shake Reagan's giant hand and Finn's hand as well, and even kind of like holds his fingers out to Nurgle. You see the others kind of come over and like properly introduce themselves. Quarian is like, I'm Quarian. The three of us were captured, passing information to contacts that we have up in Erebrer. We made some bad calls and bad luck. But we're alive.
This was within the past few weeks, right?
Yeah, a little bit over a month ago, I think.
Well, I guess the information we can get to later. But was Starhouse involved?
No.
In the capture, or was she just there for the execution?
She was just there for the execution. We had never, quite frankly, when I realized that I was, something about this whole thing was off. The execution felt like it was rushed. That was not something that we had been given any idea was going to happen.
It was a trap.
It was a trap for us. Sorry about
right,
that.
yeah, and then also this girl, Corinne, like, gestures to Baleen, and Baleen's like, yeah, hi, really, I am just a normal person who has never been involved in any kind of espionage or anything. Well, I mean, I guess now I'm a fugitive or whatever.
Badass.
She
did good, Baleen.
Looks at Finn and she's like, is everybody from home okay? Like, did you go there? Is everybody okay?
So that sort of depends how you define okay. Physically, yeah.
Finn?
But probably very stressed.
What does that mean?
Oh, sorry, I don't know how much Father Ceviche told you. Gillsbury is blockaded by the Navy. And
Still?
Well, I guess I don't know. Haven't talked to him in a couple days.
Right, okay.
But, yeah, last I heard, blockaded by the Navy, but no one was being harmed. It was just really uncomfortable and high tension.
Okay.
That might change now. There might be some sort of retribution, so we have to figure something out.
Oh.
But, God, would they punish a whole village?
So what happened? Did they just break down your door and grab you, or what?
Like, basically, they, like, came, and all these ships came and kind of, like, surrounded the town, and at first we, like, nobody really knew what was going on, and then they, like, came and asked if anybody knew where you were, and everybody was like, no, because, A, that's what we would have said anyway, and B, it was just true, nobody knew where you were. And then they were like, well, does anybody know where a girl named Baleen is? And everybody was like,
how did they get
no,
her name?
Except then they, oh,
that guy.
Then Mr. Gar was like, she's right here. And I was. So, yeah, then they arrested me and they took me onto the ship. And then these two people snuck onto the ship and were trying to get me. Only they got captured too, I think. I was in a different room. I couldn't entirely tell what was going on.
They weren't with you at all?
No, they didn't get to... They were like, we're here to get you off this ship. And then immediately there was a fight and they got captured.
Well.
And then they got taken somewhere else. I don't know. We, like, got split up.
Well, sounds like that sucked.
It did.
I looked to the other four. Nell and Alden got taken by Retval.
You see recognition from all four of them. And make me an insight check, Malachi.
23.
Nice.
Okay. All of them clearly know who Nell and Alden are, so there's the kind of like, oh fuck, like our friends have been captured. And then when you specify that it was by Retval, Ben is the only one who kind of like his gaze darkens as he clearly understands the more significance that underlies that, and sort of like rubs his chin and kind of like lets out a long breath and is like, okay, so we should go back to HQ, right? Like, all of us should go back, or is that not safe? And he kind of looks to Shiloh, and Shiloh's like, I don't know if that's safe, but I also don't know where else we could go.
Something happen, or?
Well, we're probably being tracked, I have to assume.
How? How? That was, sorry. Absolutely, the second one was not, Malachi.
I think you should consider that it should be.
Shiloh, when was the last time you talked to the adventurer?
Shiloh is like, I talked to her before I left. Before I left with you guys. I can call her. I have I can contact her. And probably that is a good idea. Because then we can ask. Like I said, I don't know where else we would go.
I look at Ben, and you said she was the only one who knew what you were doing.
Yeah, right. So we decided to have me go, like, deep undercover in Durmitor, in the palace specifically. I've a little bit of...
This was years ago?
2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So we arranged to fake my death, and he, like, looks over at the rest of the AAA members and kind of, like, there's a little bit of a guilty look there. Yeah. And he's like, I've got a bit of a silver tongue, a few musical talents. It wasn't that hard for me to get myself integrated into the court, and was trying to get close to the royal family specifically to see what they...
Were you looking for something in particular or just general intel?
The adventurer believes, and I was able to confirm, that there is more to this war than there appears to be. More to this quest of total domination of the ocean. I mean, they certainly do want to just seize territory and therefore seize power, but there's also power is being seized in more than just the territory itself. There are activities that are being taken out in the further and more wild parts of the ocean.
Cubes?
Not the activities.
He nods and is like, yeah, I think it's connected to those cubes somehow. And I can't figure out if Lithios is making them, or if they're looking for them, or if they know what's making them.
Well.
But whatever it is, it's Dr. Retval's involved, although I think he's doing something that I have a theory that he's doing something that the government doesn't even know about, because he is like supposed to be sending them weapons. Supposedly that's what all of his work is for, is to make these like bigger and more impressive weaponry, and he does. He's sent them. They've got these like cannons and magical tech shit, but
yeah. Is that what they've got?
They made him bigger, Regin.
But he's also, I think he's up to something else. It doesn't explain all of the materials he's requested, all of the, the notes and stuff like that from people who've talked to him. I think there's something more that he's doing.
Does he not know? Does it seem like he doesn't know?
Well, he knows Alden, though.
But I don't know if Alden tells people that.
True.
You can make an insight check.
Because I got the sense that Alden did not want to talk about it, you know? 19.
Yeah, I think you get the sense that he knows that there's human experimentation involved here in terms of like the gravitas with which he's talking about it.
Right.
But you also think that he does mean
something beyond that.
Like when he says materials, he clearly means like also just like literal like science shit, and they're like making like arcane technologies and stuff like that as well. But there is you get the sense that he knows what Retval is up to.
Well,
seems to have no recognition of who you are, though, Regin.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the disguise.
The adventurers had us hunting down those cubes, and we were able to witness.
We were only able to lick one.
Yeah. Well,
oh, really? Damn.
The reason that Starhouse.
What did it taste? Wait, what did it taste like? That's important.
I forget.
Horrible. Don't go near it.
Hannah?
I said it tasted like a battery.
Oh, it tasted sort of like a battery, whatever that is.
It tasted... I didn't taste anything, actually. It just tasted like the inside of my own mouth.
Repulsive. Don't go near them.
Made my tongue tingle.
Wow. That's maybe concerning. Sorry, go on.
Well, if they're creating them, it's not through any means they have control over, because we witnessed one come into being, and we think that's what Starhouse was after when she went to Gillsbury.
Oh. Interesting. See, from what I was able to... what I learned about Starhouse, she seems to be a religious fanatic more than anything.
Yes.
She appears to be on a quest to kill or get rid of, or at least destroy the worship of any of the younger and newer gods. Which is...
She might not have been after the cube in retrospect. She might have just been after Finn.
Hey.
And
I'm sort of a cultist, depending how you define that word.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you!
And then Retval might have been coming along for the cube.
Yeah. Here's the other thing that might be of relevance or immediate relevance. The General Crevitas, he mentioned to you something about insubordination or treachery running in the family?
Well, he sure said that, yeah.
What, do you have any idea who he might have been talking about?
I thought you were
mind?
saying that you knew something about this.
I might.
Well, he was talking about, I don't know how familiar you are with the ranks of the Lithuanian military.
Pretty damn familiar.
I don't know if you know Mar...
Neiman?
Yeah.
Mar Neiman, yeah. Yes. So...
What happened?
That is one of the last things that I was aware of before my cover was blown. There was a Sergeant Mar Neiman who found something, almost by happenstance. I think it was connected to Retval. Found something about, some sort of information about what he was doing, and promptly deserted. The story that was being spread, the kind of cover story, was that she was dishonorably discharged for insubordination. But she, I believe she quit, and went home. He's like looking at you, Malachi, with like as if he like almost doesn't want to say it, and he's like, I'd be a little bit worried about her, honestly. I haven't heard anything, but also I, for the past few weeks, have just been sitting in a prison cell, so I wouldn't have heard anything. But
worried about what?
I don't know what she found, or if she still has the information, or if it was just enough to scare her.
Well, how long ago was this?
It was shortly before I was exposed, so...
Years ago?
Years ago is when I went undercover.
I see, yeah.
I only got thrown in prison 3 weeks ago.
Oh, well, okay.
So, if you have any way to contact her, I would do that.
We didn't contact her, but I did see her just, what was it, like a week ago?
Yeah, not even that, I think.
Yeah,
like
a few days ago.
Or something.
She was just at home.
So, I mean, it's possible that whatever she found was enough to get her to quit, but not enough to actually be dangerous to her. But she also might know something.
Her father's a general.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's true. He starts kind of like pacing as if he's like thinking, and is like, yeah, if he might have pulled some strings to protect her, and they certainly wouldn't want to. It looks bad if the daughter of a prominent general just goes missing, I suppose.
Also bad for insubordination. Did they do anything to her wife?
Not that I heard.
She's still working.
Yeah.
Okay. How would she have found out about Retval?
Shiloh kind of like looks back and forth between you guys and is like, I'm going to contact the adventurer and make sure that she wants us to come back to HQ. I'm going to go step further away from those of you who it's more likely that, the government has your hair and can spy on you. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that sure is a thing.
And is that a secure line you're calling on?
Yeah, it's the most...
Yeah, did you make a new cloth?
I did, yeah. It's the most secure line I've got. So, I'll be right back. And she sort of, like, moves away from you guys and, like...
Tell her I say hi.
I will. Goes below decks to call the adventurer. Baleen looks at you, Finn, and she's like, I would love to go home, and kind of, it would be really nice to go home, but I don't want to if it might put them in danger if we're running from the law.
I don't know if it's safe to bring you back there.
Especially because there was a big explosion. I feel like that is really gonna be...
Haven't even touched on that.
Yeah.
A, I'm worried it's not safe for you to go back there. B, I'm a little worried now that things are going to become unsafe for everyone there, in which case we should do something about it. But I don't know. God, I really hope Father Ceviche gives me a very informative sending soon.
Speaking of explosions, that wasn't one of you lot, was it?
They all kind of look between them. You can make an insight check if you'd like.
I would like.
I bounce my eyebrows at Baleen and look inquisitively.
That's only a 10.
Only a 10. Okay.
Can the rest of us, or no?
Yeah, everybody can make insight checks, as Regin asked.
21.
Ooh.
Also 21.
I want my voice to convey a certain degree of admiration. Like, I'm not gonna be pissed if that was one of you. I'm gonna be that's actually kind of cool if that was one of you.
Make our lives a lot easier.
They all kind of like glance among each other, and Quarian shakes his head and he's like, "We definitely didn't have time to set up anything like that. Would have if I had time."
My man.
Ben looks troubled, and Ben is like, "No, this is bad. It's a perceptions thing. Mm-hmm. If the story that gets spread is that a bunch of dashing rebels came in and saved their friends and got out without hurting anybody, that's one kind of story. If a bunch of terrorists come in and terrorize everyone and
bomb a square of civilians,
kill a whole bunch of civilians, that's an entirely different story. This is, I think
it's a smear campaign.
I think Lithios, they were trying to, you said it was a trap, right?
Oh yeah.
I think maybe it was a trap in more ways than one.
But not everyone knew it. I saw the High Priestess when we were running away, and she was shell-shocked. She was not expecting that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think, from what I know of her, I don't think she'd want something like that close to her cathedral anyway. So someone did this behind her back.
And I didn't see Caleb afterwards, so I have no idea whether he made it out. I assume he did, but I don't know if he knew. Mm-hmm. Although he did... might not actually be relevant, but he did try to compel me to fight him right there. Okay. Yeah, I think that was intentional, and not the work of... I think it was an inside job.
Yeah, I'd agree. Shiloh comes up from downstairs, and she's like, well, the adventurer is worried. Glad we're all alive. Wants us to... She says if we think it's safe to come back, then she doesn't mind us coming back. There's wards over HQ that are pretty powerful, so she thinks that it would prevent anything.
Spying.
Yeah. She says in her opinion, she's not that worried about Gillsbury, but, it's always a little bit of a risk. Her take is that if they, that the explosion and kind of what that represents makes her think it's less likely that they'd retaliate against Gillsbury in any major way. And Ben kind of is like, that makes sense, yeah. If they're trying to paint us as the bad guys, they're not going to want to go and hurt a simple little fishing village.
Technically a Lithiosian township.
Exactly, yeah. Ben's like, it does seem to me, Finn, like it'd be more likely that they're just going to keep their ships sitting there so they could if they wanted to.
All right.
At least for the time being.
I guess that could be worse.
So, if we wanted to go back to headquarters, at least drop off some of us and figure out what to do next.
I think Baleen should go somewhere safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So at the very least, I think we should drop her off.
Okay.
Sorry, Baleen, I don't think we can bring you back right now.
No, I get it. That makes sense. She, sits down and puts her head in her hands.
I sit down next to her and put my arm on her back. Give her a comforting pat.
But if Father Ceviche messages back, I'm sure you could send a message back to Min.
Hey, remember when we were little and we used to talk about, sailing around the world, going end to end?
Yeah.
This is sort of like that.
Shit, this is the furthest I've ever been from Gillsbury.
Yeah.
At this point, because I'd been to Durmitor before, when with my parents when we were little, but we never went, now we've kind of gone north. This is Oh, man. Very exciting. Definitely all exciting.
That's definitely the most positive way to describe it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I like to look on the bright side.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to get me.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
My pleasure, honestly.
That was some... I mean, I know you've had magic for a while, but, like, that was crazy.
I know, right? My eyes flash black for a second.
Wow. Was that...
Oh, sorry.
All of that was really just a trap for you?
Yeah, well, me and my friends, but I think so.
It's kind of hard to say anything definitively at this time, because, like...
God.
You ever eaten spaghetti? It's like spaghetti.
Nope.
In what way is it like spaghetti?
We don't have pasta in Gillsbury.
Yes, you do. Finn, you call them long noodlies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, long noodlies.
Long noodlies. Why didn't you say
Yeah,
so?
we call it pasta. Well, there's just a lot of loose ends.
Oh.
It was no more complicated than that. I don't know why you're
No, that metaphor, I expected there to maybe be more layers, but that really makes sense.
Yep.
No, if there were layers, it would be a lasagna.
Right.
What's a lasagna?
And
I don't know what
you
you
guys
call that.
you guys set your course for AAA headquarters. At least as a first stop to figure out what on earth to do from here.
So true.
Yeah, so I think that is where we will go ahead and wrap this one up. Congrats on escaping the city.
Yeah! Yeah, baby!
Hannah, can I level up?
We're unstoppable. We're invincible.
No.
Okay.
What? Not yet.
It was worth an ask.
Wait, Hannah, can I level up?
No, but thank
Damn.
you for asking. Yeah.
I thought maybe because you like me better.
Yeah, I do, but no.
I'll kill you with my
All right.
hands, Andrew.
Wow. Okay, thank you everyone so much for joining us here for episode 35. If you enjoy our content, you can find us other places on the internet. You can find us at Ship of Fools Cast on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. And you can also find us on Patreon, patreon.com/shipoffools for lots of cool, fun bonus content that you've hopefully heard me talk about quite a few times by now. Yeah. Thank you, as always, to the other people who make our show work. Thank you to Theo Golden for our beautiful logo art. You can find him at tgoldenart on Instagram. And thank you also to Lucas Mangold for our nautical theme music. You can find him at lucascarlmusic@gmail.com.
Let me get into this because I'm doing this with a handheld mic, so I gotta.
That's Carl with a K. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that authentic emotion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You don't always get that with the mic stand.
Yeah, and is there something else I'm supposed to say?
That you love me.
I do. Yeah, and I love
Thanks.
everyone on this show and also everyone listening to this show. And we will see you
But
again.
everyone else in the world, you're fucking out.
If you're not listening to this show, get fucked. Yeah, and we will see you again here on November 23rd for episode 36.
Oh, you didn't tell them to rate and review us.
Yeah, rate and review us. That would be great. We always appreciate it, especially if
Ideally
it's gonna be good
highly.
reviews, which I'm hopeful it is
only
because I
positive.
love you. So if the feelings are reciprocated, this is going to be kind of awkward. Anyway, November 23rd, and until then, we will see you on the open seas. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.